This is like an ex-special forces guy.
Yeah.
You know, and like, here's the thing, dude. I don't give a what you do. Like, every one of my assistants is gay. Like, I love gay guys at my parties. They don't up the ratio, like, in the sense they're not gonna all your chicks. Like, I actually, like, I don't give a what people do. I don't care if you want to chop your dick off. I don't care if you want to dress it and whatever. Like, I really don't give a But like, competing against women, just like from a like bone structure hormone standpoint, it makes no sense. I don't know. I just think like people just, man, they're so easily fucking like manipulated by like watching one video. Yeah. It's and you've seen it, you know, like in the last couple of years with like this God damn it, I can't say it. Anyways, believe it. But like, you know, just with like what's going on, man, like people really are herd animals. You know, and I knew that before, but like you've really seen it in the past couple of years. It's just like, man, if everybody's going right, like, you know, fuck, I better go right. You know, it's like that mentality is like they just follow the herd, even if it just makes no sense. Like, you know, trans women in sports, for instance, like you got a fucking, you know, like a biological man beating the fuck out of some girl in MMA.
And like fighting too, that's
what I'm saying, MMA. This is like an ex-special forces guy. You know, and like, here's the thing, dude. I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, every one of my assistants is gay. Like, I love gay guys at my parties. They don't fuck up the ratio, like, in the sense they're not gonna fuck all your chicks. Like, I actually, like, I don't give a fuck what people do. I don't care if you want to chop your dick off. I don't care if you want to dress it and fucking whatever. Like, I really don't give a shit. But like, competing against women, just like from a fucking like bone structure hormone standpoint, it makes no fucking sense. But everybody's so worried about being politically correct that they can't see things that on the surface are just like so fucking blatantly obvious, but they're so worried about like being offensive. Like this guy that just plowed into a fucking, you know, big group of people in the fucking van. It's like, you know, he was a black guy that was like a big BLM guy. So like, no talk about him, no talk about the fact that he was like said like all this anti-white shit and killed a bunch of white people. You know what I mean? Like when it doesn't fit the narrative, it's like wiped off the fucking press. It's kind of a crazy time to live in, you know?
Oh yeah, and it's like, it's weird too, because even when you want to talk about it, you're kind of like have to tiptoe around how you phrase your words and shit. Like, I should just be able to say, you know, like, you have a higher, I don't know, your lungs are literally bigger, so you shouldn't be fucking competing in cycling against this guy, you know?
Well, bone structure-wise, just like, I mean, it's just the mechanics. Like, just men are just built differently. I mean, there's a reason why there's men and women's sports. Look, create a trans division.
Yeah, that's what fine. I said. And it's like, the argument is, well, there's not going to be enough people to, like, even do it. Well, it's like, well, it's not my problem, you know? Yeah. Like, you are the one who imposed this position upon yourself. And it's not like our responsibility to like flexibly like allow you into these like subsections of women versus men. And it's like, it's not like you see women transitioning to male and then competing against men and getting like fucking ruined. Obviously not. It's the other way around.
Like, to me, man, I think it's like a whatever it takes type of thing. Like, I think people should be able to fucking shoot gear. Like, if you want to regulate it, like, fine. Cap the testosterone at 1,000, you know, milligrams per whatever the fuck, 1,000. I don't even know.
Nanogram per deciliter.
There it is. Yeah, that. Per week or whatever the fuck, right? Like, just cap it. Because, like, why is it fair that a guy that's got naturally 350 has to compete against another dude that's, like, fucking naturally 1,100, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just think, like, apples to apples. Like, just cap it. I mean, fighting was a lot better when they fucking were all juicing. You know, guys were stronger. Like, I mean, that's why you watch professional sports. You want to see, like, the fucking peak.
And one thing you could definitely argue that I sort of touch on sometimes is now you're creating kind of like disparity between those who are at the top and are well connected, otherwise may be able to circumvent around the doping parameters.
Oh, they're all doing it.
But the guys who are like just fresh in something and don't have the means or the resources or the know-how or the connections to get around it. So even though on paper it's like banned for everyone, you might have guys at the top. It's almost like a poor guy trying to compete with like a wealthy guy in, you know,
100%.
Some sort of business endeavor. It's fucking impossible when a guy has money to work with to make more money versus the guy who's poor starting from nothing. Like the grind to 1 million is like dramatically more difficult than like the grind from 1 to 10 and then 10 to 100 sort of thing. So like the guy who's like at the top of a fighting division, he has like all the access to fucking whatever.
Yeah, the designer drugs that you can't even test for, the SARMs or, you know, the peptides. There's so much shit out there. Fuck, man. Just like the HGH stuff, you know, or not the HGH, the trophic factor stuff, the stem cell stuff.
Oh yeah, if you have like a fucking torn fill in the blank, maybe I have the money to get it fixed quickly and you don't because you're just some like poor up and coming guy who's grinding.
And they're doing that. Like the stem cells, like a lot, like most pro athletes. That's the thing is like, you know, these guys are just like the public perception is that these guys don't do anything, but these guys are doing all sorts of shit. They're just doing shit that they can't get tested for. And, you know, some of that stuff has, you know, better effects than, you know, I don't really know much about the SARMs or any of that stuff. I'm actually kind of like out of the loop. I'm sure you know a ton about it, but there's definitely shit that people are taking that isn't being tested for, or that's got a very short window or whatever. Yeah.
And it's like, even not just even the know-how of knowing that exists. Like you might not even know guys you're competing against are doing shit when you're that new to it or like not well connected, because it's like, oh, there's this big banned list and like I get tested randomly every like fucking 3 weeks or something, so obviously everyone's clean just like I am. Probably not the case.
No, I mean it's a crazy world. I mean, if you look at athletes now, just how they fucking look, I mean their bodies, you know what I mean, it's just like fucking dramatically different, and they're breaking all the fucking records and like all this stuff. And I just have to believe that it has to do with, you know, I just know what your body can do naturally, and it's not a lot. Like your body can improve and you can, you know, make strides and whatever, but the difference of when you're taking fucking shit that's specifically designed to, you know, make you recover faster, all this stuff, it's just like there's just only so much you can do without overtraining as a natural athlete. I mean, you can't train 6-8 hours a day as a natural athlete.
Guys who are weight cutting in UFC aggressively, like obviously your test is going to crash. You're going to you're literally depriving yourself of nutrients to make some weight class that's far lower than you otherwise should weigh. Water depleting the shit out of yourself, like all this stuff. It's going to be very, very dramatically like impactful on your performance.
Yeah, and the creatine kinase levels have to be through the fucking roof. Like that had to be in a massive state of overtraining. I mean, it's just like
and then competing a guy who's even if he gets away with a little bit, that's like that's way more useful. Like even HRT trying to cut on HRT versus off. Like everything crashes when you're cutting that dramatically, trying to get to like single digit body fat to step on a scale at, you know, some body weight you otherwise should never walk around at. Like your T levels would be like fucking
just 200. Mentally too. Like going into a fight, you know what I'm saying? Like with super low testosterone, it's got to be like pretty difficult.
Fuck yeah, for sure.